Hello and thank you for joining me. This video is all about when our life doesn't go to plan. So if you saw any of my social media posts at the end of July, you will have seen that I was doing really well. I was feeling healthy, I was feeling happy. I'd focused my July on my health and my happiness, and it worked. It really worked, and I was feeling really good. And then August came, and from the 1st of August onwards, I felt terrible. I caught some sort of bug, cough, cold that continued throughout August. I had coughing fits in the middle of the night that kept me awake. I couldn't stop coughing. I have done numerous lateral flow tests, 2 PCR tests. It isn't COVID-19, but it really wore me down, constant coughing. It's only a little bit better now. I'm hoping I can do this video without coughing. So that continued throughout August. I found having a puppy really challenging on my own because my husband goes to work every day, Monday to Friday, and I just found it overwhelming. So my puppy is absolutely gorgeous. She's so cute and adorable and fun and makes me laugh and smile, and she drives me absolutely up the wall. Insane. She is a complete nightmare at times, and she's sitting next to me down here because she would not stay downstairs on her own without barking. I tried, I came upstairs, I went downstairs. Oh gosh, drove me mad. So yeah, the reality of puppy ownership is very different from the image of puppy ownership or the fantasy of puppy ownership. What else happened to me in August? Well, because I was unwell, because I was struggling with a puppy, I felt a lot of my grief about my mum who died in January, so that came up. I was too busy for a couple of weeks with friends visiting. I got distracted, I stalled my car, somebody drove into the back of me, I got whiplash, bad back, bad neck, and then the following week, I lost my car key in the sand on the beach, £240 for a replacement key, which I haven't got yet. Fortunately, I had a spare. So it was like, really, this is not my plan for August. And yesterday, on the last day of August, I was thinking, I wish I felt like I felt on the last day of July. I wish I felt really good in myself. I wish I felt that my focus on health and happiness had paid off. As it is, I feel like August was a write-off for me. So here we are, September. And yeah, I was reflecting yesterday on this idea of our lives not going to plan, because this comes up all the time in my coaching calls with my clients, and it came up yesterday with a client, and it is basically the theme of my life, I suppose, since I started writing my blog age 40, and that question was always coming up. Why hasn't my life gone to plan? How come I am single, living alone in London? How come I don't have a partner? How come all my relationships have failed? How come I don't have children? How come, like, the career that I built and absolutely loved and gave my life to and my youth to and my fertile years to, how come I don't like it anymore and I don't want to do it anymore? And everything fell apart. So often our lives don't go to plan, and maybe your life hasn't gone to plan. And I imagine that if you follow me, perhaps there's an element of this for you, that your life hasn't gone to plan. How on earth did I end up here? And, you know, this came up yesterday, as I said, with a client, and, you know, life isn't fair. And for some of us, for some of you, life isn't fair across the board. But for some of us, for some of you, life feels less fair than it does for other people, because perhaps we had really difficult starts in life. Perhaps you did. Perhaps you didn't get what you needed as a child. Perhaps you started out in life feeling afraid, insecure, not safe, unloved. And then that colours the rest of our experiences, our life experiences and our relationships. And I know this from my own experience. So, and we get to this age and stage and we think, gosh, my life hasn't gone to plan. And often there's anger, there's rage, there's a sense of it not being fair. And often, there's a sense of what am I going to do about it? So what are we going to do about it? I believe that it's important to get in touch with the feelings. You will know this if you follow me, that getting in touch with the feelings, any feelings that are going on for us, it's so important to get in touch with them because we so often run away from them. We don't want to feel them. We stay too busy. I find that the more painful the feelings I am trying to run away from, the busier I get. I get really, really busy and stressed and overwhelmed. So we need to get in touch with those feelings, slow down, sit still, hand on heart, close eyes, connect with the breath. And as I said to a client yesterday, sometimes you might need to, lie on the floor, let your whole body relax. I use the Alexander technique, some books under my head, knees up, and my whole body relaxes. And often that's the way to connect with my feelings. Another way is by getting myself into bed and cocooning and just allowing my body to shed whatever it needs to shed, the tears to come, whatever needs to happen. You might want to journal. And, with my clients, we look at journaling and we look at writing with our dominant hand and our non-dominant hand. And the non-dominant handwriting helps us to connect to the child within and the feelings. We might want to get outdoors. There are loads of ways of connecting with the feelings. But what's important is to connect with the feelings and then to grieve, to allow yourself to grieve. And that is a complex process. It's not a linear process. Complex grief, it comes, it goes, it shows up in different ways, like my grief has around my mum. It's very, very complex. And it ties in with lots of other griefs. The way I was brought up and the conditioning that I received and how that set me up to have unhealthy relationships for a long time and not to have a family. And so it's tough. It's really tough. So we need to grieve and allow ourselves the time and space to grieve so that we can heal. Self-acceptance is so important. Self-compassion. And I know if you are within my circles, you may struggle with self-compassion. I certainly do. But self-compassion is so important, and self-forgiveness, forgiving ourselves for the mistakes we think we made, the choices we think we got wrong. Forgiving ourselves, giving ourselves the love and compassion and tenderness and understanding and empathy that we would give to a small child, that we would give to our best friend. So forgiving yourself, loving yourself. And then where do we go from here? Well, it's a new month, it's a new season, it's September, October, November, December, it's a new quarter. Is that right? Is my maths right? But it's a different time of year, it's a new start. And how can you start this period of your life as you mean to go on? How can you love, honour and cherish yourself? How can you value your dreams to the degree that you are prepared to put in time and effort and perhaps money to bring them to fruition? So how can you move forwards? So self-acceptance, accepting where we are, connecting to the feelings, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-understanding, grieving, allowing ourselves to grieve, and plotting a way forwards. And in whatever order, that can all be jumbled up. You might need to grieve a bit and then think about the way forwards a bit and then grieve some more. And okay, I'm going to accept myself. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to show myself compassion and then move forwards. So, if I think about moving forwards right now, I would like to do so with self-compassion and love and gentleness. The combination of running my business, looking after a puppy, and processing the feelings around my mum and my age and stage in life, they are all quite challenging. And as much as I want to push and run and drive, then I do need to slow down, stay at a healthy pace, and Yeah, and also cherish this time with my puppy, because of course the nightmare side of her is the puppy side of her, and eventually that will go, and I'll miss it. I'll miss it. So cherish where we are. And yeah, so I just wanted to say, if your life hasn't gone to plan, you are not alone. You are definitely not alone. And you know, one thing that I encourage and I also support and I make happen is that I bring women together whose lives haven't gone to plan. So through my groups, Facebook groups, through my coaching courses, and soon the Love Retreat will return. So I am hosting a small group women's retreat in Southbourne, in Dorset, at the end of October. So if your life hasn't gone to plan and you'd like to come and be with a wonderful group of women, hosted by me, and with some amazing pluses for this retreat, including a sauna on the beach and swim in the sea, sauna, swim in the sea, yoga on the beach with a wonderful teacher, fantastic food. Do take a look at my retreat page. So this is for you if your life hasn't gone to plan. I hear you. I am with you. You are not alone. Take really good care of yourself, forgive yourself, and get the support that you need in order to move forwards. Thanks for watching. Bye.